Ladies and gentlemen, for another enthralling, exciting hour of wireless entertainment, please be upstanding for your host with the most, Mr. James Whale. Well, if I might say, what a ridiculous introduction. I don't know who the voiceover for this program is, but Rob, you're the producer. Can't you audition somebody else?
It sounded like the microphone was breaking up at the end.
Yes, I don't know what these people are. Where do we get them from? How much do we pay them?
I think that's where the problem is.
It might be. Anyway, nice to have you all with us, wherever you are, from all four corners of the world. That's a ridiculous saying, isn't it? How can there be four corners in a globe?
There'd have to be a lot more corners than four.
There are no corners in a spherical thing.
No circle is a true circle, though.
Well, what do you mean, no circle? I mean, the world is a circle.
Not really.
Isn't it?
Well, for a start, it's a sphere. And then, obviously...
It's a football. It's an intergalactic football.
Here they go, football. That's not round, is it? It's sort of squarish.
Are you mad?
It's stitched fabric, isn't it? It can never be perfectly round. Nothing can be perfectly round. You can get close.
A balloon is perfectly round?
Nope. A balloon is sort of like, it's got a bit on the bottom where you blow into.
Yeah, but when you tie it up, the tied up bit is perfect. Look, nature must... Well, what are you talking about? It can't have four corners. Only a box, a square, a rectangle can have four corners.
I agree. I said, but it's got more than four corners.
Well, it hasn't got any corners. If it's round, it doesn't have any corners, does it?
Think of Mount Everest, right, which is one side of the planet Earth. That's got a pointy bit on the top. Well, that's not round, is it? So therefore, the planet's surface isn't round.
It still can't have four corners.
No, I agree. It doesn't have four corners, but it has a few more.
You're making me cough again. Well, there we are. Now, we've agreed that I'm right and you're wrong. Yeah, that's what we've agreed.
I think that's what just happened, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, anyway, as I say, welcome to the programme. Lovely to have you with us here on your favourite radio station. Online, anywhere where you get us on. Do they get us on iTunes and they get us on you can do a YouTube, can't you? There are so many. Actually, talking about YouTube, if you go to our website, jameswhaleradio.co.uk, if that isn't where you already are, then you can go into the website. You can see some of my old television shows. You can see some of my videos. Did you put that one of me shooting the arrows up? I
did, yes.
I think I only filmed that last week.
Yeah, it was actually last week. Yeah, beginning of last week.
That was filmed, on the new iPhone 6 by my friend Neil, and it's got slow mo. You can put. It was all done just in probably took us 20 minutes to do.
I noticed that you didn't say iPhone 6 10 times last week, like I hinted at you could do.
Well, if iPhone want to send me an iPhone to road test, that would be very nice. And now, of course, as you know, here on jameswhaleradio.co.uk, brought to you very often by Ford, brought to you at the moment in the new Ford Focus, which I am test driving for Ford. And I am test driving. We'll put some photographs up in the next week or so. In fact, I think we've got one. The new I never thought I would say this. It is probably the best car that I have driven for quite some considerable time. The driving position, just everything about the ergonomically designed interior of the new Focus. It's like being in a Mercedes or a BMW. It's brilliant. I can't tell you. And I'm getting more miles to the gallon out of this car than I've ever got out of any other car before.
That's impressive.
The only thing that worries me is it's got this stop-start technology where when you stop at the lights or you pull over or whatever, the engine turns off.
How long does it take to start again?
You just take your foot off the clutch or you put it on the accelerator. It starts immediately.
Well, what's wrong with that then?
Well, nothing. It just worries me. And if you get out, for instance, if I've stopped and I'm chatting or whatever, and then I forget that I haven't turned the engine off, but the engine is off. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you following me?
Yeah.
And I get out of the car. As soon as I get out of the car, it automatically turns the engine back on.
Ooh.
So, because as soon as you take your foot off any of the pedals, and probably when you stop, you still got your foot on the brake. Soon as you take your foot off the brake, the engine comes back on.
And then you plough into a wall.
No, it doesn't move.
Oh.
It's in neutral.
Ah, okay.
So, it can't go anywhere, can it?
What if you're parking on a hill and you put it into first, like, on a steep hill?
I haven't tested that, but in the next few weeks while I've got this, the new Ford, they've given me the Ford Focus Titanium to have a go with. Listen, I know you might think I'm trying to take over from Jeffrey, but...
Jeffrey?
I'm not.
Who's Jeffrey?
What? I mean, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Jeremy. Well, it's similar, isn't it? But it's good. Look on our website. You can find out about it. But it really, I was talking to my brother about it. He said, the Focus, yes, lovely car to drive. And I've always thought, it looks a bit, doesn't it? Not very attractive car. This one looks good. It's completely redesigned. And it's great. It's got everything inside. Best hands-free system. And you can easily your phone just marries to it with very little difficulty. So I can't say enough about it, really.
Okay. I'll be interested to see what happens on that hill thing.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would. I'll take it into the woods when I go arrow shooting, maybe at the weekend if I do, and take some photographs. What are you doing? I can hear you breathing, but what are you doing at the moment?
I was rubbing my eye.
Oh, well, don't. That's rather disgusting. So anyway, thank you very much indeed for joining us. I've forgotten what the hell we're doing. I was hoping we were going to have Paddy McGuinness on the show this week, but I don't seem to have got Paddy. Hopefully next week or the week after. I was just talking to him before, and he's definitely coming on the programme. So that's good. We might be talking to Dean Martin, but not that one.
The singer?
No, he's dead.
Well, we had... thingy on last week, Yvette. I thought you might have done...
Oh, Yvette Fielding and Most Haunted. Good old Yvette, yeah. Oh, I tell you what, that's fascinating. If you haven't heard that programme, go back and listen to it. Check out that one. More upset from what do you call them? Mediums and psychics.
Oh, so careful.
They are so bitchy about each other, aren't they? I've had no end of tweets tweeting me. I ignore them and telling me, listen, they might not be very good, but I am, and I can tell you who the charlatans are and who aren't. I said, oh, right, okay. But there is nothing worse than a bitchy psychic, I'll tell you. It's fascinating. Of course, they're probably all going to be proved wrong. Katie Hopkins.
Yeah.
She's great, isn't she?
Is she a psychic?
I mean, no, she's not. She just, Katie Hopkins. Everybody says get her on the show. Well, if she'd answer her phone to me, I'll get her on the show. And, she said people suffering with dementia are just bed blockers, and it's upset everybody. Everybody's getting upset. And you can see why. There is a line that you shouldn't cross. But the thing about Katie Hopkins, she doesn't actually know where the line is. And everybody's trying to have a go at her. I haven't heard one broadcaster, and there are some pretty miserable broadcasters around, who've actually managed to get the better of Katie Hopkins. And I am not saying I would. I don't even want to try, to be quite honest with you. But the question should have been put to her thus. Katie, welcome to the programme. You be Katie Hopkins.
Oh, okay.
Right. Hello, Katie.
Hello.
Nice to have you on. Listen, Katie, first of all, on behalf of everybody, can I just thank you for what you're saying?
Oh, I'm not used to that.
No, well, can I just thank you? I mean, you just said that you think that people suffering with dementia are bed blockers, and if you were in that situation, you just asked to be put down, not to be kept alive. Is that right?
Yes, I did. I said that, yeah.
Yeah, and presume that probably goes for the rest of your family, I imagine.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of my family, but certainly for me, yes.
Yeah, and so I feel, you know, if I was in a situation, I don't want to sort of take up space. If there's absolutely no hope for me in the future, I would like to be given an injection, put down, save everybody the time, trouble, and effort of keeping me going. I don't want to be wheeled to the toilet. I don't want to be fed down a tube. And if there is absolutely no hope that I can recover from this, then good night, Vienna. And so can I just thank you? Trouble is, Katie, the trouble is perhaps the way you said it was a bit unfeeling. And what do you propose to do to those families who do not want their loved one to go until it's absolutely necessary? And what do you want to say to those people who do not want at any cost to have their life terminated? Or are you suggesting that it would be made compulsory?
Right. Thank you for your
No
question.
answer, Katie. No. Okay, I see. So you can't answer that one. It's a shame, Katie, because I thought it might be interesting to get your response to that. Because you do say, Katie, to be fair, you do say some of the most ridiculous things, and it would just be nice for you to just sort of dot the I's, cross the T's for us on where you stand on that.
I'll get back to you.
No, I thought not. Thank you very much. So there we are. That's Katie Hopkins. Interview done.
Can I take the wig off now?
Yeah, take the wig off. You look ridiculous in high heels as well. Absolutely ridiculous.
Sitting in my room and I'm on my own. It's cold outside and I'm feeling alone. So I turn that dial and my radio's on. I hear James Well and my troubles are gone. I hear James Well on the radio. I hear James Well and his podcast show. I hear James Well on the radio. James Well and his podcast show. James Well on the radio.
Now, here's a question that I put out on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook, of course. And if you want to get in touch with me at any time, just go to my email. Email me at jameswhaleradio@gmail.com. jameswhaleradio@gmail.com. And a big thanks to those radio stations all over the world now who put this program out. If you'd like to have the program, then get in touch with Rob. Same email, jameswhaleradio@gmail.com. And we will tell you how you can facilitate the program through your radio station. Now, here's good news. Men are now living as long as women.
And that's good news, is it?
It's good news. Well, maybe women are now living as long as men, and that, for them, may not be such good news, because as you probably know, Rob, women live a lot longer generally than men.
Is that really true?
Well, you go to any old people's home and tell me how many male residents there are compared with female residents.
Okay.
Katrina McKenzie says, if equality truly exists, why do women automatically get the children in a divorce case? Well, they gave birth to the children. I mean, they're theirs, more or less, aren't they? It's not fair, says Katrina. You have some men who end up living in bed and breakfast accommodation whilst the woman gets the house, the kids, and a third of his pension. Yeah, but at least you, the man, me, at least you don't have to get up and get the kids off to school, do the washing, the cooking, the cleaning, and all that sort of stuff. At least if you're living in a bed and breakfast, you don't have much housework to do you? See, I can find a bright side to almost anything. Donna says, Donna Pettit. I've got a friend called Pettit. I wonder if you're related. If you do the same job as someone else, you should all get the same pay, no matter how many years you've worked for the same company. Well, I don't think that's quite right. it doesn't have anything to do with whether you're a man or a woman. I mean, if you've been working in a company a long time, you would expect to get paid more than somebody who just came, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
You know, I would think. David says, horse racing. Let's have Men's Day. Why do we always have Ladies' Day? That's a really good point, isn't it?
I can't wear a frock.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I can't answer that. Steve Harris says, following pregnancy, men should have more time off work than women, as stress levels are much higher for men. Really? You want to go down the pub. Adam Talbot, best of 3 sets only in Grand Slam tennis. What's that got to do with him?
There's something to do with tennis and women. I'm sure there is.
Oh, right. Okay. Edward Owens says, women going to the bar.
Oh, I agree with that.
What? I don't. My wife always gets the drinks in.
Yeah, but in general.
Don't they?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. I haven't been to the bar for a long time.
Well, that's because you're not allowed out. And John Jono Dogbot, made up name, spending power. Spending power.
Yeah.
Question mark. What? Yeah. Well, yeah, women don't let you spend. They spend it, but they don't let you have it, do they, if you're married? I've always found that to be a problem. And Chris Hawkins says, I'd like to see equality in time for contact with children after divorce or separation, as at the moment, in the many disputes, fathers have to take action in the courts if mothers refuse to allow contact or restrict it. A serious point there. That is a problem. But what happens is guys do get overexcited about it and get really upset, and then it all goes a bit pear-shaped. Using children, to have a go at the other half in a divorce, quite often it'll be the man who ends up not seeing his kids. I absolutely know. But forcing, it's almost impossible to win if you're a guy. And I speak with a little experience in my own family. I won't go into it any more than that. That if two people fall out, and the wife obviously or usually will get custody of the children, and if she doesn't matter. You can go to court as many times as you want, but if the mum does not want the dad to see the children, it can get very, very nasty. You can come and pick up the children, and if the mum's not happy, it rubs off on the kids. The kids are not happy seeing their dad, and it makes everybody miserable. It really is a difficult thing, and I don't know how you overcome it, except to say to people, if you have children together, for goodness sake, remember, you are equally involved in the children's life, and parents who separate use the kids, argue about it the whole time, go to court the whole time, and it could be so much easier. And quite often the mother said, "Well, I'm not getting any money from the dad." The dad disappears, but quite often what can happen is that the mum says she doesn't really want the dad coming around for all sorts of reasons, doesn't want him to be able to see the kids, but wants the money to look after them. The dad says, well, I'm not giving you any money until I see my kids. The whole thing gets nasty, and it's the kids that grow up with this on their mind and not actually knowing what the real story is. And the real story, usually 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But it's usually the dads as well that end up without having any contact with their children. And quite often it'll go further. The grandparents won't have any contact with their grandchildren either. So I suggest anybody that's going through that, take a step back, take a deep breath, have a think about what you're doing, because it can ruin people's lives for a long, long time. And you'll usually find eventually the children will want to know who their real parents are. It's a need that we all have. We want to know where we come from. So as an adult, you can try and keep the kids away from the parent if you're the ones who have custody of the children. You don't want the other half to have anything to do with them. Eventually, they will turn on you, and it might take 10, 15, 20, 30, even 40 years, but eventually they will want to know all about the situation. So it's easier, isn't it, from the start, just to try and make life as smooth as possible. If you and your partner can't get on, that's one thing, but please don't involve the children and use them. Sorry, that's my lecture over with. Shall we have some music?
Yeah.
I think I've talked far too much, to be honest with you. This is a band called the David Sinclair. That sounds like something out of the 50s, doesn't it? The David Sinclair 4, ladies and gentlemen.
My dad gave it all I had. I'm sick of being good. I like my quiet life, my 2 kids and my wife. I'm sick of being good. All I want is drinking cigarettes, cheap thrills with a girl who'll acquiesce. All my friends, send them my respects. I'm sick of being good. I'm sick of being good. I've been working hard all week, getting lots of sleep, yeah right. I'm sick of being good. I haven't eaten any junk, been living like a monk. I'm sick of being good. Take me out and keep me up all night. I wanna fly higher than a kite. I couldn't give it if it's wrong or right. I'm sick of being good. I'm sick of being good. Life's a search for clarity, but how am I supposed to keep what's left of sanity? You tell me. Has left town, left me in the woods. I'm holding up, but the clock is running down. It's time to make a move. No more unfailingly polite. No more stopping at the red lights. I'm going out, I could be gone sometime. I'm sick of being good. Sick of being good, yeah. I'm sick.
The David Sinclair 4 on the James Whale radio show. Very good day, whatever time it is. Welcome to the programme, the David Sinclair 4, launching their new album with a special gig as well at the Borderline, Manet Street in London. If you can make it, it's May the 14th. Well worth seeing, I think. You can download, I'm sure, on iTunes as well. You're listening to the James Whale radio show online and on your favourite radio station. I am still available, of course, for after lunches, after dinners at the weekend, comparing any functions you have. We just had the Thurrock Business Awards that I hosted the other night, and I have a number of awards that I'm hosting over the next few months. And, of course, if you need a host for an occasion, please. I've still got a few evenings available. Just get in touch, jameswhaleradio@gmail.com. What?
What?
I can see you looking pensive. What do you want to say?
I'm doing my production work while you're talking.
You always make me cough. This studio is so small. We need a bigger studio. I think that's what it is.
It's the dust. I didn't do any dusting this week.
No, you should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely ashamed of yourself. Did we on that other thing? You know, we were going to do answer phone messages as well, just to make some money for the program to keep it going. Of course, if you want to send us donations to keep this show on air, feel free. But we do from time to time, if you would like, for argument's sake, here we go. Ring, ring. You do the ringing sound.
Okay. Brr, 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 brr.
I'm very sorry, but Rob can't get to the phone at the moment. So if you like to leave your name and number, I'll make sure that the old guy calls you back a little later.
Oh, no, you'll have to do that again. I'm not being called the old guy.
Oh, that was okay. Sorry, I'm afraid Rob's not in at the moment, but listen, leave your name and number. Do it now. He'll get back to you as soon as he can. If, of course, you're worth getting back to, and that's arguable. Now, sod off and leave us alone.
I did a message like that once and I got told off by my mum.
So any message you would like within reason, just email us and we'll come to some financial arrangement, I feel sure. jameswellradio@gmail.com. You know, or if you're a radio station, you like some jingles for yourself, very, very inexpensive, of course. You're listening to the James Whale Radio Show on WHALE 97.
WHALE. Whale, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's my new radio station. You're listening to the James Whale Radio Show on WHALE 97.
Shouldn't it be 97.4 or something like that?
Well, I don't know why I said 97, really. That's how old I feel when I'm with you. Hello, you're through to Rob. He can't get to the phone at the moment, but please leave your name and number after the tone, and we'll get him to get back to you as soon as we can. Or if you prefer, yes, what do you want? What? Oh, speak up, for goodness sake. I can't hear what you said. What? There's no need to shout. Just leave your name and number after the tone. I'll get them to get back to you. What? No, there's nobody in at the moment. I'm just taking the calls. Leave your name and number. I'll get back to you. Goodbye. Yeah, I like that one. Just made that one up.
Yeah, you realise that everyone's just going to rip that off and put that on their answer phone.
Well, send us a $5 and you can have it.
Okay.
Let's talk about the ecology of the planet. Very important, and of course, as you know, I'm a huge ecological fan. Well, as big as Jeremy Clarkson, anyway. Good news that apparently the planet Earth is now greener than it was in 2003. So the planet is getting greener. Now, that's an interesting thought, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's more litter now than there was.
Well, let's talk about litter later.
Okay.
Oh, in fact, that reminds me. There was a really good story on the local news the other day about a school who is now banning parents smoking in playground. Not a school, local authority. I'm not talking about school playgrounds where, of course, I'm pretty sure smoking must be banned in school playgrounds, isn't it? You wouldn't allow the kids to smoke, would you?
No, that's not allowed.
And the teachers wouldn't be smoking in playgrounds, would they?
No, they're not allowed to smoke in the staff room.
No, so in this particular area, which I can't remember where it was now, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, they are now that the council has passed a bylaw where now you can't smoke in a children's playground, you know, where the swings and the slides are. You take the kids to play, because apparently a lot of them just look like old ashtrays. It's a pilot scheme somewhere in the south, I think, and it could be rolled out, but it's been reported that people are getting very upset. Parents think they have a right to smoke when they take their children to the swings. Well, I don't think they do. In fact, I would go further. I don't like seeing smokers, because if you're a smoker, you're a drug addict, aren't you, right?
Yeah, technically.
I mean, there's no two ways about this. If you are a smoker, you are an addict. And if you are not an addict, then you shouldn't worry about it. It's not something you really want your kids to see you doing, and it's not something you want your kids to do either. Now, don't tell me about the pollution from cars. Don't tell me how terrible it is when you're drinking. We can do that at another time. Let's talk about smoking. And I cannot understand. If I said to my employer, look, I've got to go and have a couple of beers, I just can't carry on. Can I just pop outside, have a couple of beers standing outside? They'd sack me, and quite right too. If I was to say, look, I've got to go out and have a cigarette, you've got to provide somewhere that's dry and somewhere for me to have a smoke outside. So what lots of these big companies have done is they've put like bus shelters outside, and you know the junkies stand around shaking whilst dragging on a fag, don't they? Well, I'd stop that. I'd stop that.
I've got an idea about how to help them give up.
How to help them give up?
Yeah.
Just tell them to stop.
No, well, they won't. But if you tell them the truth, like, oh, hang on a minute, mate, do you mind, have you got like any mints or anything? Because your breath's a bit bad. I just thought I'd let you know. And when they say, are you coming around my house for a party on such and such, you go, do you mind if I don't? Because every time I go to your house, I come back stinking of fags and stuff, and it really ruins my clothes. If you keep doing that, they'll soon stop.
Do you know, that's a very good point, actually, because I go to the pub. I probably drink more now than I've ever drunk before, because I like to go to pubs now. Whenever I went before, you would always get home, and if I was doing a disco or something like that, I'd come home and Mrs. W would say, oh, take your clothes off, please, put them in the wash. And you did stink. You did absolutely stink. If you travelled on public transport, if you worked where people could smoke, you used to come home stinking of cigarettes. You're right. It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. And what is more, of course, people still who smoke, you can smell. A guy I was working with the other day came into the studio and he started talking to me, and I said, could you just take a step back? And he said, what do you mean? I said, could you take a step back? Because I'm not being funny, but you stink of cigarettes. Oh, just have one? I said, yes, and I could smell it. Now step back. Step away from the whale.
Now, if more people did that, people would be going home with complexes and going, oh, I stink, Oh, what can I do? Yeah. They'll just give up.
Yeah, well, smokers do stink.
There you go.
Smokers stink. It's official. Don't do it. And what happens is, forget all the medical problems that you create for yourself and for everybody else around you. Why should we all end up stinking because of your addiction?
Yep.
You walk past a place outside, even outside, where they're smoking, and I have to hold my breath.
That doesn't work much, does it really? You still get a breath of it.
Well, I take a deep breath before I go past, knowing that I can't stand to breathe in cigarette smoke. Why don't we ban any smokers from listening to this? If you smoke, sod off. I don't want you listening. I don't want you a listener. I don't want you downloading me. I don't want to have anything to do with you if you're a smoker. What do you think?
I think we just lost like half our listeners.
I don't care, because, they'll want to come back. They'll miss me. They'll want to come back. But they might come back healthier than they were.
Yeah, I suppose we are doing them a favour then.
I think we're definitely doing them a favour. Now, let me get back to what I was talking about, actually, and that was planet Earth is now greener than at any other time since 2003, which is pretty good news, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So, David Jackson, in reply to this, because I put it out on Facebook a couple of days ago, says, no point in lying to ourselves. Mankind as a species is in decline. We are not only tearing ourselves apart, but destroying the planet and all the other species that share it. The thing is, we think we will continue to inhabit this planet forever. We need to pull our heads out of our arses and realize that just like 90% of past inhabitants of this planet, our time will someday come to an end. We are not the be-all and end-all. Our time here is limited. I have to tell you, I think he's right. I think that this planet will still be going on long after mankind has evolved themselves out of existence. Matt says, surely we have to keep going, James. The longer we look after her, the longer she will be here. Talking about the planet. Dave Hill says, I liken the ecosystem to lying in a big warm bath. There's only so many times you can pee in the water until it becomes a very unpleasant place to be. What a horrible thought. Who on earth would pee in their own bath? Did you ever pee in the public swimming when you went swimming at school?
I must have done.
How disgusting. I wouldn't admit it even if I did. Glenn Pell says, get rid of the ugly wind farms. I like wind farms. I don't find Why do people find wind farms ugly? I'm not sure they do much good. I'm not sure they produce much energy, but I don't mind looking at them. I think they're quite nice. And Peter Chambers says, Greenpeace lying for years over global warming, and that's a proven fact. Let the hippies go live in some crusty commune while normal folk drink, party, kick back with gear that's non-degradable. Really? That doesn't sound like much fun, Pete, either, to be quite honest with you. Thank you very much anyway. So some good news that planet Earth is now greener, apparently to some scientists, than it has been for at least 12 years.
Yep. We're all safe.
Yeah.
We'll all go out and party, bonfires, all the rest of it.
I'll start. Shall I talk and you stop interrupting, or the other way round?
Can I answer?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I'm going to read my book. Got a copy of Almost a Celebrity by James Whale.
Any good?
Yeah, I've read this bit where I took I took Edwina Curry out for a curry in Leeds.
Isn't that like eating our own family?
Well, similar. And the next bit where where this guy waited for me outside the radio station I was working on at the time, who ended up killing a guy was an Islamist before Islamists were thought of. I think I can't remember whether an Iranian or an Iraqi. I'm just reading. I haven't read my book for a number of years now, and it's just here, and it just fell open. And it says, Alani called that night, and his sentiments had changed dramatically. The target of his venom was no longer the Jews, it was me. He stopped turning up at the radio station for his little chats. It appeared that I had crossed a line as far as he was concerned. He waited for me outside the radio station, this guy, to berate me quite often after he'd been listening to one of my late night radio shows. He was fine. We used to sit on the steps of the radio station and talk about it. The sad and tragic thing was that later he ended up going into a hospital in Wakefield in Yorkshire and murdering two very eminent surgeons. And then the police reckoned then he was coming after me. But the story is in the book. So, Mr. Rob, why don't we have that fabulous feature of the James Whale radio programme, It's Tech Talk.
Okay, this week it's all about the news that selfie unlocking is coming.
I beg your pardon?
You know when you unlock your phone at the moment, you have to swipe and put a PIN number in?
Yeah.
Or if you've got a new iPhone, you can hold your finger on it, it'll do the fingerprint recognition.
Right.
It's a long time coming, but very shortly we should be seeing the front camera on your phone looking at you and going, oh, that's him or her, and then unlocking.
Yeah, but the problem is, does that mean that the camera on the front is always on and watches you all the time?
No, because you unlock your phone the normal way and it comes up with the screen with a pin. Instead of doing that, it just takes a photograph of you.
Right. Okay. I don't like the idea of that, but maybe it'd be okay. I mean, my number's easy. I remember it. I put it in the phone and it turns it on.
Well, here's the thing, right? If you get one of them sort of cardboard cutout faces that you can get with a bit of elastic band.
Yeah.
Because I reckon it does it via, to verify that it's really a human and not a photocopy face. It'll look at your eye movement, right? So if you cut out the eye holes and put your normal eyes behind it and it'll see the eyeballs moving, then it'll unlock the phone.
Well, lost me. So is the iPhone, what's the new iPhone? The iPhone 6?
Yeah.
the iPhone 6.
Mm-hmm.
The iPhone 6, 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 the iPhone 6.
It doesn't work. You have to say it 10 times, but with a space.
I just said it. I said it 12 times.
That doesn't count. It's 10 times, but you've got to say it within the show in conversation, as it were.
And then I'll get a free one.
Yes.
Are you sure?
I might be making it up, but we'll go with yes.
Okay, well, the Apple iPhone 6, I've heard is very good.
It is very good.
Very good indeed, yes. Yeah. Well, if you go on the our website, you can see me doing a commercial for some medieval arrows, which I did as a bit of a spoof. But the Longbow shop, who sent me the arrows, put it on their website. Now everybody thinks I've sold out. I'm doing commercials. Well, I will. I'm not selling out. I'll do them anyway. Yeah, but it's quite good.
So we're going to see a lot of people smacking people over the head, knocking them out and holding their heads up against phones to unlock them to see their secret pictures.
Oh, for goodness sake, that's appalling. That is appalling. Well, let's not do that. Just keep the number. Let's just keep the number.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best thing, don't you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, good. Absolutely fabulous. Right, well, that's it for the Tech Talk then. I think we should take a commercial break.
Would you like a free audiobook? Our friends at Audible are giving everybody a free audiobook just by going to the James Well Radio Show website, jameswellradio.co.uk. All you need to do is click on the Audible link, register, and you'll get your free audiobook. It's a bit like a book club, and remember, you can leave at any time and you still get to keep your free audiobook. So what are you waiting for? Just head over to the James Well Radio Show website, jameswellradio.co.uk, and click on that Audible link now.
Now, yes. Now, Paddy McGuinness, somebody had the audacity to email me and said, I think you should start trying to get A-list celebrities on the show. Well, I think we only have A-list celebrities on this show. And so I called Paddy McGuinness, but the line wasn't great, and we haven't been able to get back to him this program, but I'm hoping for next week's show. Just to prove that we did, listen to this. Well, are you at the Granada studios?
They're gone, James.
Have they?
They're now they've been turned into apartments, I think, or an IKEA, one of the two. But they're gone, so it's a new place called Media City in Salford. So
I've been there. I thought that was just the BBC. I didn't realise that Granada were there as well.
No, yeah, it's all moved. Yeah, it's a shame really. It was great, Granada. I loved it though.
The last time I did a TV series, about 10 years ago, I did something called The Blue Whale, which is a bit risque. It went on Men and Motors, and in fact, I had to do my radio show after I recorded 5 of these shows back to back. Then went to Salford to a studio there and did the radio show. I was knackered.
That's a lot. I remember watching your show late nights with my friends, and it was fantastic. And I was saying to you, you were the one I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers on your show.
You did. We were the first people to put the Red Hot Chili Peppers on TV, and they offended so many people that we were told we couldn't have them on again.
Why did they offend people?
I've no idea. It didn't offend me. I could never. I'll tell you, Paddy. Well, there we are, Paddy, who is at the moment filming a new series for ITV, and we'll find out exactly what he's filming and what he's doing next week on the show. You might want to email us a few questions, maybe, for Paddy. That's
a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Now, we finish the programme, as usual, with questions for me. If there's anything at all that you want to know, all you need to do during the course of the week is email jameswellradio@gmail.com or go on Facebook, get in touch, or Twitter, and I will do my best to answer half a dozen or so at the end of the programme.
Are you ready?
Of course, I'm ready. I was born ready, mate. Born ready.
Okay, Martin Cross, the Grand National. What is the future if all goes wrong on Saturday?
Well, I won't be watching the Grand National. Much as I love horse racing, and horses, I don't see the point of the Grand National, because every year horses are either injured or killed. One year, not so long ago, a number of horses were killed. They make the fences so difficult that it's an interesting race, because almost anybody can win. The form book goes out of the window. It depends on the day, and I think it's cruel. I personally don't like it.
Alan Phelan. Why do we pay tax to the town hall, then have our streetlights switched off and we can't see where we're going? Can we get a refund?
What do you think people did before they had streetlights? I get really annoyed about this. This is one of the main debates on radio stations at the moment. Oh, the streetlights have been turned off. Oh, thank goodness for that. I like to come out of my house and look up at the stars when it's a clear night. If you don't like the dark, get a torch. It's simple. It seems to me to be a horrendous waste of money to have streetlights on. You pay your taxes to the town hall, it's not rates, is it now? It's your council tax, of course. I couldn't remember what it was called. You pay your council tax for all kinds of things, not just the lighting. And as you know, there's been a squeeze, so there isn't as much money as there was. So something has to give. I understand some people get very nervous and very frightened about it, and in that case, maybe we can, if you can't afford to maybe fit some lights outside your house, maybe there's a way that we can get those fitted.
Carla Bohan. Why are we letting blue skies be sprayed out, and why is no one talking about this?
Have you taken your medication, Carla? Yeah, I really, Carla. Nobody's sprayed out the sky, darling. Oh, hang on. I think this is your nurse coming now.
What's the name of the nurse?
I've no idea, you dirty devil. Let's get on with the next question.
Chris Tibbs. Was the dress blue and black or white and gold?
The dress was white and gold.
Really? No, it wasn't.
Well, it could have been blue and black, but I prefer white and gold.
Well, preference is different. I've always, when people used to say everyone's right, it is white and gold certain times of the day and it is blue and black certain times of the day. Well, surely the answer is, no, you're wrong. It's blue and black because it is blue and black. You're just seeing white and gold, therefore you do actually have a defect.
Much as I think I know everything, I haven't a clue what you're talking about. What flipping dress is this?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know anything about dresses.
There was a dress.
What dress is this?
Someone wore a dress, a blue and black dress to a wedding.
Yeah.
And somebody took a photograph of it because some of the people says, "Oh, I love your white dress." And it was quite obvious, dark blue and dark black, right? And they went, "No, it's not." And they put it out on social media and it went mental all around the world. Everyone was talking about it. And like half the people see white and gold and the other half see blue and black.
Well, it sounds barking to me, but anyway, right. Well, I see everything, so it's everything to me. Next question.
Okay. Matt Dudley, what is the meaning of life?
Well, the meaning of life is quite simply 647 and a half.
647 point, is that 0.5 or a half?
Well, you can have it either way.
Why 647?
Well, I've no idea. It was the first number that came into my head for no reason I can think of. So I must have been getting a divine message from somebody. Probably my psychic chakras opened up at that particular time.
Right. Ian Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Ian. Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
When did the country go down the pan?
When did the country go down the pan? I find that a fascinating question because basically the country's never gone down the pan. If this is compared with the rest of the world, this must still be one of the top 10 countries to live in. I don't know how we can moan about stuff, sometimes. Being serious for 1 second. When the majority of people on this planet are starving, are worrying about where they're going to sleep that night, whether or not they've got enough food, whether they can keep warm and dry, whether they've got water that won't kill them to wash and drink in. I don't really think, Luce, we've got much to worry about. Do you?
Elaine.
Elaine, hi, Elaine.
What does Bobby the travel reporter look like?
Dusky. She's what you might call a dusky maiden.
Can I Google that?
Yeah, listen, Google my travel reporter from my breakfast show, Bobby LaCara.
I was going to Google Dusty Maiden, see what came up.
Well, you can Google Dusty Maiden, Sandra Shaw, anybody you want.
Okay. Angela, what is inside Roy Cropper's bag?
Now, that is very interesting, but I have signed a clause that says I cannot reveal, much as I would like to tell you what is in Roy Cropper's bag. I'm afraid I am just not allowed to do so.
And Jackie, she's back.
Who's Jackie?
Jackie, the one that was been in hospital. Jackie.
Oh, Jack, how are you?
I think she's out now.
Oh, love you. Oh, good. Hope you're feeling okay.
Why do my squirrels no longer hibernate, so I have to feed them during the winter?
Well, they don't hibernate, really. Squirrels come out on warm days and try and remember where they put their nuts. Well, don't we all? And the fact is that if you're feeding them, they might suddenly think, oh, I better get up now, get a bit of a feed. I think that's probably more likely to be it. And the warm weather, which we have had quite warm weather over the winter. It's been not a bad winter when you think about it. Probably why the squirrels are out and about. I could do Country File as well, couldn't I?
There's a lot of things you can do. Yeah,
I could. Anyway, listen, that's the end of the show, I'm afraid, this week. Hopefully next week, Paddy McGuinness is going to be our special guest. In the meantime, tell all your friends about jameswhaleradio.co.uk. We're here at this time on this radio station next week. And if you're not listening on a radio station, well, we're here whenever you want us. All you've got to do is go to the website, jameswhaleradio.co.uk, and you can listen to one of over 70 hours of me just talking rubbish, really.
It's not that bad.
No, I suppose not. Plus interviews with political leaders, rock stars, psychics. I think we've got them all there, haven't we?
They're all on a list.
Yep, go and have a look through the list. My interview with Uri Geller, that's quite fun. Boy George is up there. We've got all sorts of people up there. Go and have a little look through the list, and of course you can always download them at any time you want.
Is that it now? Can we go?
I was going to say free, but of course it always pains me to say free. But, you know, if you want to help keeping this program going, then donations generally greatly accepted, generously accepted, jameswhaleradio@gmail.com.
I count 3, so we'll have to try harder next week.
3 what?
3 mentions of the word iPhone randomly.
What, the iPhone 6?
Yeah, or 4 then.
Great phone, iPhone 6. I'd love to get one of those.
So I'm only giving you 4.
What, mentions of the iPhone 6?
Yeah, that still counts as 4. We're not randomly mentioning it. We're just.
I'm going to have a lie down now. I'm worn out after all of that.
Okay.
All right, Robbo, take it easy, mate.
Okie dokie. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, I think you'll be able to get something out of that. I'm not sure what, but there we are.
You're listening to the James Well Radio Show. For more information, visit www.jameswell.co.uk. www.jameswhaleradio.co.uk. Why not check us out on Facebook.com/JamesWhaleRadioShow or follow James on Twitter @TheJamesWhale. James Whale, the voice of reason.